Matt, have you got any other what have I done to deserve this style anecdotes from your ridiculous childhood?
There was one when I was in hospital with concussion.
Yeah.
I mean, that was bad in itself, really, and there was a moment where
what had you done to deserve that?
I'd been given a faulty bunk bed by my parents, some sort of test.
Did you fall off it? It collapsed?
From the top of my mum came upstairs because she thought the bunk bed had fallen over, but I'd fallen out from the top onto my head and was up against the wall with my feet in the air, confused, vomiting.
Oh, you poor
stuff
thing.
like that. And then because I had lost my memory temporarily, when the doctors at Casualty said, "Well, how did you do this?" I didn't know because I couldn't remember, and in typical child style, made up a lie because I thought.
I should answer this question.
I was playing football when I was kicked in the head. and they kept you that torch in your eyes to make sure your pupils are dilated, which they weren't. So I was kept in overnight. Two things happened actually. I went to the toilet. They said, "Oh, you're not allowed to walk around. You have to, if you want to go to the toilet, you have to ask the nurse. She'll put the things round."
I bet you hated that, didn't you?
Because everyone else who had to have the nurse help them go to the toilet, you know, with like a bedpan thing, they didn't pull the curtains round fully.
Right, well, there's a little gap.
So I got up, went to the toilet, and thought, I'll get away with
Obsessed with going to the toilet you were as a child?
What? Okay. Would you like to lay in a hospital bed with the curtains not pulled round fully and have to wee or even into a pan?
Yes, I would, Matt.
Yeah,
in fact, the minute this show ends, I'm off to St Guy's Hospital to do exactly that.
You've been told about that. Yeah, so I got up, went to the toilet and thought, ah, lovely. Pressed what I thought was the light switch. It was a panic alarm. Sat down, thought, this is going to be brilliant. And then loads of people burst in.
So
they said, "Are you alright? Are you alright?" Yeah. "Why are you out of bed?" And I thought to myself,
brilliantly.
a while to think it.
Yeah, I've noticed the hiatus. What is interesting to me is that like you were ashamed having people look at you wee, and it would have been much more discreet just to have done the wee in a bedpan, because in the end it ended up being a big panicky wee with loads of nurses and doctors running in. Terrible, really, that happened to you.
What they told me. Actually, that wasn't even the bit I was going to say.
What is the bit you were going to say?
When my parents came to pick me up, they brought clothes because I'd gone there in my pyjamas, and for some bizarre reason, they brought clothes that I'd never... like, you think, oh, I'm going to go and get someone from hospital, I'll take some clothes I've seen them wearing once. They turned up with
some
clothes...
familiarity.
The T-shirt was my little brother's, the trousers were... You know, I don't know why...
They dressed you up as Rupert the Bear.
These rubbery shoes that I don't know where they came from. And I had to...
Little jelly shoes.
Yeah.
And you'd been all concussed. Perhaps you thought you were living a different life then.
My head clicked when it moved. Something wrong with my neck for a while afterwards. I was still confused and I was dressed as someone else. It didn't really help.
You've never ever really returned from that place, I don't think. You've been living your life as someone else ever since. I had a concussion incident, right? My dad, before he'd left, abandoned, I like to say, before he built a wardrobe right in the bedroom, and it was held propped up with a Mr. Man book. And I remember seeing that Mr. Man book.
Good at DIY.
It was brilliant. It incorporated Roger Hargreaves' Mr. Tickles work into a cupboard.
B&Q often sell out of Mr. Man books on a bank holiday weekend.
Yeah. Oh, Christ, I've got to build a vanity dresser. For heaven's sake, get some Little Miss Naughty copies. So I saw that Mr. Man book. I was excited about the prospect of reading it, plucked it out. The whole
that as a trap.
It was essentially a trap. It fell apart. A bit of the cupboard fell into my skull. I had to go
into your skull or onto it?
Onto, I suppose. There were no gaps in my skull with cupboards in them.
You had a soft spot and a great big bit of wardrobe in it.
It was ridiculous. And through there I could reach Narnia, and I'd often at night recline and just, whilst in the hospital, and think, you know, essentially, what the hell have I done to deserve that? I would think to myself. Yeah.